Good Wednesday evening and welcome back. I'd like to welcome all the new subscribers to the channel, and a big thank you also to the ones who have stuck with me for my past 2 weeks of not putting out a video. As you can tell from the sound of my voice, I've been sick for the past 2 weeks, and I believe it was my third round of Corona or COVID, however you want to say it. Don't get the shots, they don't work. So anyway, it's time to get started on the motor, and I was messing around off camera, and first very bolt I tried to break loose, it broke. So no big deal, we'll drill it out and move on from there. So everything is small, I'm not gonna sweat anything. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. I got some tools here. We're going to start with the exhaust manifold, and hopefully I won't have any more issues. All right, last bolt. And it's not cracked. Looks pretty good. Usually you'll find one that's got a hole in it. So this one's good. All right, got that off. We'll go ahead and take this off. For the governor. I gotta get me a pair of pliers, so we'll just move this out of the way for now. All right, we're gonna go ahead and take off the water spout up front, or water neck. So let me move the camera. All right, we're gonna take water neck off and take the water pump off. Should be a 5/8. Yep. So we'll take that off and we'll do a little bit more, but like I said, I'm going to, I had to get out of the house, but I'm not going to try and get overkill and end up back in the house again. So, all right, that's nice and sinks. Yeah, got a little bit of sand in there, but that's okay because we are redoing the motor from top to bottom. So, and then we'll take these two pieces apart and we'll sandblast in here and get all this stuff out, so it's nice and clean, and we'll be moving on. The wrench goes through the wrench. Okay. Looks pretty good. We're gonna clean it up and we'll see about rebuilding this one. All right, we're gonna move once again. I'm gonna take the distributor off, and I'll probably pause here. I don't know, I may take a couple other things off. We'll see. But I need to get an oil pan. Someone did an upgrade on this oil pan, and when they welded that back in, they made a mess. So, excuse me, we're gonna try and get that remedied. Make it look better by putting the original pan back on. I'm not gonna weld that one up. So, 9/16. All right, let me grab a couple more wrenches and I'll step right back over and we'll get this done. Okay, I had to take a break and get me something to drink, but we're gonna go ahead and take the distributor off and try and get a couple more things off, and then I'll probably call it a night. All right, got one of the locks off. And I'm not really worried about top dead center right now because that'll all be set when I put it back together. Well, doesn't feel too bad so far, but well, sand. But we'll take it apart and check everything out and replace whatever's needed. And at least it was getting greased, so that's not bad. Yeah. Yep, gear's turning pretty good, so Anyway, a lot of cleaning. Well, I think that's gonna do it for right now. We'll get back on it tomorrow. Like I said, it was my first day back at work, and well, really a first day, but I couldn't stand being in the house anymore. So thank you for tuning in, and we'll get back on this tomorrow. And once again, thank you to all the new subscribers, and thank you as always to the continued supporters of the channel. Have a great night, and we'll see you in the morning. All right, welcome back. Off camera, I took the crankshaft nut off, and you can see someone used a cold chisel to put it on before. So I went up to Napa and got a 2.5-inch socket and removed it the correct way, and now I'm gonna source out a new nut for this, and hopefully I can get one. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and pull the crank pulley off, and then we're gonna start or get back on the disassembly of the motor. And I am going to I actually need another hand. So, but anyway, I'm gonna put a nut up here so not to mess that up. So anyway, and like I said, this is where you need the third hand. Or you can use your knee. I did spray a little bit of penetrating fluid in there to try and, excuse me, make it a little bit easier to come off, but oh, it's coming really easy, so that's a good deal. So hopefully it's gonna be a better day than I had the other night with the first bolt and it broke, but it's okay. Good enough. There it is. It's off. We'll probably make a new lock plate for it. Well, I don't know, it's not too bad. I'll probably make a new one. All right, so that's off. We're going to move the camera around, and we're going to start taking the cylinder head off. And then once the cylinder head's off, then we'll take the front gear cover off. Make sure there's no bolt there. These bolts here in the front of the oil pan may go into, it looks like they go into the gear cover, but we'll find out. So let's move on and start getting the head off. just a cheap Star washer, looks like. Anyway. And look at there, nice and clean. I like it. Got a little bit of carbon, but not too bad under there. So we'll see what else this engine has in store for me. That looks really good, honestly. And when I turned the crank over by hand, or turned the crank by hand, it had pretty good compression. So maybe we'll get lucky, but like I said, everything's been ordered anyway. So we're going to rebuild it. All right, I've got an oil tube right here. We're going to get that out of the way. And we're probably going to have to take the valve lifter rail, or take this off so that we can get to the engine bolts or the head bolts right there. So we'll do all that. No. I was going to say that looks like it was bent, but it's not. It's just the way it's made. All right, so let's go ahead and get this stuff loose and go from there. And I'll set all this stuff inside the valve cover until I can get it put away so it doesn't get damaged. Now, 9/16. Get a socket, get it a little easier. And like I said, it's really clean in here. I'm impressed with it. Maybe I'll get lucky and it'll be really nice and clean in the motor. Okay, they're all loose now, no pressure. There we go. All right. That looks pretty good. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to pull all push rods out, and then then we'll start pulling the head bolts off. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and pull the push rods out, put those in the valve cover. going to use an impact to get these off. Well, that gasket's been on there for a long time. Golly. Anyway, I'm going to use the impact to take these off, but when the engine is rebuilt, I will use a torque wrench and do it to the correct order and the correct specs. But right now I'm just trying to get it off. All right, we got all the head bolts, well, the nuts off the head bolts, and I've got my engine hoist here, and what I'm going to do is put a little pressure on it and then lightly tap it with the rubber mallet, try and break the seal. So we'll put a little tension on it. It's like it wants to lift the whole motor. There we go. Let me get this up just a little bit. There we go. All right. Put a little tension on it. A little more. There it comes. Man, that's all right there. In the words of Ernest P. Worrell, for all you old folks out there like me, looking good, Vern. A little bit of carbon right there. These are not the flat top pistons. Somebody's been in here before. All right. We're going to move this out of the way. Honestly, yeah, there's a ridge in there, but someone's been in this motor before because they are not the original flat top pistons. So hopefully I won't have much to do. Hopefully there's not excessive wear on the crank and rod bearings. We'll check all that, but I'm really satisfied. It's just a little bit of carbon. I'll set this down, and then we'll look at I'll move the camera so you can see inside. It's not really bad at all. Of course, I'm getting oil all over the floor, go figure. And see, it's not the flat top pistons. So someone's been in here before. Doesn't look really bad. Because like I said earlier, it had plenty of compression. So, but that's okay. It's going to have even more compression because I'm putting new pistons and rings and everything in it. So that's really cool. That makes me happy. All right, we take the front cover bolts off. Looks like all of our hardware is out. Let's give it a little light tap. Make sure all the hardware is out. Yeah, let's see. All right, there's no bolts left in the front cover underneath. It's just really stuck with the gasket sealer. All right, outer cover is off. I've already set the governor down on the floor. It's a little bit, that's loose. We're going to address that, but anyway, we'll get all this set up. This is the idler, but I'm more concerned with this. But the gears from, you know, just first inspection is just normal wear, but like I said, this is a little loose and I don't like that. So we'll address that. So anyway, well, that's it. We're gonna get back to taking the accessories off, you know, like the oil filter housing and stuff, and we'll take the gears off and do all that. So anyway, we'll pause for now, and I'll come back once I get all this other stuff off and get the gears off, and then when I get ready to pull the oil pan off, we'll come back and we'll look at all that and go from there. But like I said, so far this backlash here is about the only thing that I don't like. But before I pull the plate off, we'll go ahead and check everything. So we may just pull the cover off and inspect stuff, and then I get all my specs for it, and then we'll measure all that, make sure we're okay. All right, here we are. I've got the oil pan off, and we'll take a quick look. Now the motor's been without oil in it for a little over a month, so it's had everything. Well, everything's had time to settle to the bottom of the oil pan, and it's not a lot. It's just a little bit. It's a little bit of sludge in there, but it's not thick. It's just normal. So we'll look inside. You can see right here on the pickup screen, it's not that bad. And inside of the motor looks really good. I'm happy with it. It's nice and clean. I do have a little bit, I think it's just, it looks like it's pitted. Let's see, wipe them off. That's it. Those lobes, we could probably polish them back out and make them new again, get the pits out, but we'll let the machine shop make that call. I did check the in play on it briefly with a pry bar, put it back here and slid it back and forth. It barely moved, so that tells me that it should be well within specs. But the only thing that really bothers me is I'm turning the cam sprocket, and you don't see any movement on the cam. And I thought these were pressed on, and I hope it is pressed. Or if it's a key seat, I don't know if it's a key and seat or pressed, but we'll figure it out once we get it off. And when I turn it upside down, I got all this brown stuff coming out of the water jackets. You can see right there in the cup, that's what come out of the motor on the water jacket side. So it will be going to the machine shop anyway, and we're going to vat it and get everything like it's supposed to be. I've got, I can see now why all this stuff on the back side of the head bolts, all that rust and stuff, that's probably going to be, that may go to the machine shop and let them pull them bolts out, them studs out too, I mean, because that's a lot of rust. And I don't know, I could try and soak them with penetrating fluid and try and get them out. I did buy the tool for taking them out. I did have one come out, and that's about it. But anyway, that's enough talking and carrying on. I've got to get home and start going through and finding a couple of things. And like I said, I am going to replace the oil pan. Someone welded a dipstick to it, and it broke off. Well, I broke it off just so I could get to the bolt. But I am going to put the original style back on because when they welded it on, they bubble gummed it and it's leaking. So I do want it to be back like it was when it came from the factory. So that's it. Thank you for staying with me. Thank you for sticking with me as well through the couple weeks of not being around. Means a lot. I appreciate it, and especially that you give me time out of your day to watch my videos. So as always, thank you from Old Red Tractors, and have a great afternoon, and we'll see you when we start checking clearances and checking clearances. I'll get it out. So have a great day. We'll see you then.